Welcome back to Narrow Ground Entertainment. I'm Steve the Unimpressed, and this is episode 7 of Steve Solo's 7 Days to Die Alpha 19. Today is going to be a Horde day, so I'm going to have to deal with that later in the day, and I should probably check on my supplies of ammunition. Is that? Okay, that's just a shadow. I'm still a little jumpy from nearly getting overrun with zombies last night, so I was wondering if that shadow of the chest there was another hole in the wall. Fortunately, I fixed my fortifications in the middle of the week, so I don't have to rush off to deal with those, which leaves me a little bit of time to spend working on the defenses of my immediate base. And since I don't really have a better solution at the moment, I'm just going to coat the outside of it in flagstone blocks for now. I'm not going to be able to do the entire thing right now because I don't have that many flagstone blocks. I will have to make more. And doing that will also require making more cobblestone. But this is a step in the right direction. See, I haven't even finished 2 sides and already I ran out of them. And it's okay, I'll just make a few more. It's not like I'm going to be spending the night in this base anyway, so it's not as high a priority as it could have been. Fairly soon I'm going to have to start devoting a little more effort to my mining, especially under this base, so that I can start moving some of my stuff below ground. I do need to open out a little more space before I can do that, and one thing that I start trying to do as the game progresses is to move my forge and workbench and chemistry station further apart from each other underground. I start to dig out in different directions, and I'll place the forge off in one direction a little ways, and the workbench in another, the chemistry station in another, and so forth. The heat map does track based on chunks of land. I don't know exactly how big those chunks are. The Minecraft chunk is 16 by 16. I don't know if it's the same in 7 Days to Die or not. However, if you separate your various heat-producing workstations sufficiently, it will at least spread it out between several different chunks. And if they're not the same chunk that your base is in, zombies will spawn and move towards the chunk with the high heat in it. So they might actually miss your base entirely and just wander past, which is preferable to them breaking down the walls, at least in my opinion. I've got a few more flagstone blocks, so let's get a few more of these up. Okay, the exterior of the base is now entirely clad in flagstone. I have warned you all in the past to be careful where you place these because you can't pick them back up. I apparently was not listening because I was not careful enough where I was placing these, and now I have to erase these 2 mistakes. There, like it never even happened, except for the wasted resources. Okay, it definitely doesn't look pretty, and it's not even, but if I wind up with a situation like that again, this will give me a little bit longer before the zombies start coming through the walls. I actually did find a few interesting things at Trader Hughes today. The wood splitter mod is a upgrade for my axe that I have been hoping to find for a long time, so I'm going to install that. I bought the schematic for the bandolier mod. The bandolier mod is fairly useful because it helps you reload faster. It's not a ton faster, but it's faster enough. And it's also an armor upgrade, and much like the weapon upgrades, any upgrade on your armor helps. Even if the effect isn't particularly useful, it does increase the overall protective ability of your armor just by having a mod installed. So it'll be useful to know how to make those. I also bought a volume of the Automatic Weapons Handbook that I had not previously read. I'm not sure how many volumes of that skill book I have read. I think that might have been the first one that I've acquired. Nope, not quite. I got another one before. Oh, I got the one that lets you make drum magazines, which is great because I like drum magazines. Don't think I have the parts to make them right now, but soon. I also bought a foregrip mod because those are useful and hard to come across sometimes. Machine gun parts, bullet casings. Brass is relatively rare. It's the hardest to acquire of the resources you need to make ammunition. So I buy bullet casings or any brass item whenever I find them at traders and can afford them. And the same sort of goes for springs. You can't make them, and they're relatively rare to find in the world. So when I find a good stock of them at traders and I can afford to purchase them, I pick them up. Now, I should have plenty of ammunition for this Horde Night, especially between the various weapon types that I now have access to. But this is a good time for me to come back to my nitrate powder and coal mines and get a little more work done on them. I'm going to need to start making more of my own gunpowder. And here we have a bunch of zombies coming at us. Come this way, dummy. You guys are early. The party's not until, what, 10? Yeah. Party's at 10. Come back. Okay, well that could have gone better. I'm actually probably going to cut a lot of that fight out because it was mainly just me walking backwards a lot around and around the zombies waiting for my stamina to regenerate so that I could hit them again. One of the dangers of using up all your stamina mining in the middle of the day, or really at night too, is that if a bunch of zombies wander into your vicinity while you're mining, and you don't want to waste bullets shooting them all, which is why I didn't just shoot them all, you tend to have to run around and around and around, well, not run, walk around and around and around, waiting for your stamina to regenerate so that you can swing your melee weapon. So that's what I was just doing, a lot of walking around and waiting, playing keep away until I had enough stamina to swing again. It's kind of a pain. However, it does work. You just kind of stay away from them and keep yourself from getting hit and slowly work on them until there aren't any left. One thing I am going to make sure to do this time, just in case more of those zombies wander over here while I'm still digging, is put up ladders right away. Last time I didn't, and we all know how that went. Well, I've certainly made some progress on that, and like I mentioned in the previous episode where I set up this mine, I forget which episode it was, I am going to go ahead and upgrade these wood frames along the top now, so I can see where the pillars are supposed to be. And there's no reason to actually to leave these as wood frames. It's not like with my defensive platform, where leaving them as wood frames actually gives me a substantial benefit, like being able to shoot down on the zombies below. I was just leaving them this way so that I can see where the pillars were supposed to be more easily. And I haven't built anything lower on this corner yet, but it is the corner. So it should be simple enough to spot that I can go ahead and upgrade the rest of these too. I didn't actually get much nitrate powder out of this mine today, and I'm probably not going to work on the coal mine at all right now. I'm probably going to go back to base and start assembling my gear for the Horde Night. However, I did get deeper into the ground above the deposits. Once I run out of clay and start hitting gravel and more nitrate powder deposits, this will be a little more productive. For now, though, we made a good start. And I avoided getting killed in the mine, despite a whole bunch of zombies showing up. So, you know, progress. I'm now going to collect some of my gear for the Horde Night. I'm going to leave some of my better tools behind here. There isn't really that much advantage to having my axe and my shovel and my pickaxe with me, especially considering that the way that I fight the zombies right now is by standing above them. Really, those would just be taking up inventory space. That gets more important later on when you're running through more ammunition on a Horde Night, but it's a good habit to get into. I'm going to take all of the 9mm ammo, basically any ammunition that I have a weapon to use, I'm going to take all of that with me. Bring my pistol. I'm actually going to take my iron spear off my hotbar because I could only use it once and it might despawn before I can get back down there to collect it, so I'm probably not going to use that tonight. I'm going to bring my tactical assault rifle with me, which it actually turns out is better than the AK-47 that I have. I'm not sure if that's because the AK-47 is in poor condition right now, or if it's just a fluke of the generation chances, since these stats are not completely uniform. One tactical assault rifle is different from the next. But bring that with me. Perhaps the tactical assault rifle is actually just better than the AK-47. I don't think so, though. I'm going to bring my bow and my iron arrows, just in case. I'm probably not going to use them, but if I run out of all other ammo, then, well, I have that. And despite its relative uselessness at range, I'm going to bring all the shotgun ammo, since I now have this double-barrel shotgun that I made at the end of the last episode, and it kind of got forgotten about when dealing with the zombies. Let's go ahead and load that. All my other weapons appear to be loaded. Let's check and make sure on the bow is not. Let's go ahead and put some arrows in that. And since there's space for it, I'll go ahead and put my hunting knife on my hotbar as well. I did make a few extra repair kits to take with me. Almost inevitably during a Horde Night, you will have a weapon break. It might not happen tonight, and I can't remember whether it's happened to me in any of the other previous Horde Nights in this world, but it is a relatively frequent occurrence. After you've been playing in the same world for a long time and you get to your 15th or 16th Horde Night, it's almost certain that even if you go into the Horde Night with a completely repaired quality 6 weapon, you are going to run through enough ammunition to have to repair it before the end of the night. So always bring some repair kits. Just in case I wind up getting hit, I'm going to take some first aid bandages with me. Vultures do spawn as part of the Horde Night sometimes, and they are the thing that can still get you on top of a platform. So I could wind up taking some damage from them, especially if I don't notice them right away. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to take any of my medical supplies with me because there's a good chance that if I fall off of my towers, I'm gonna die. So, why bother? Put those in the spot where I'll put those in the spot where my bow was going to be, because the bow is the least likely thing for me to need tonight. And now I better take myself over to my towers before zombies start spawning. Here we are in our nice strong towers. Now we just have to wait for our guests to arrive. And by guests, I of course mean future experience points. Alright, here we go. Got some loot falling already. I really wish that I could actually get down there to harvest those zombie dogs. Even when you're fighting for your life, you have to be thinking about your long-term survival, and I need that rotten flesh for farm plots. Oop, I almost backed off the edge there. Here's another zombie dog. Why can't you wait to come until it's almost morning? I'd really appreciate that. Killing you now, your body's going to despawn before I can get down there. That's one thing we all know about video games. Dead things just vanish after a while. That way the game doesn't have to waste your RAM remembering that it's there. Fortunately, I think those loot bags are immune to that effect. I think it will remember that those are there. Switch to the pistol for a minute, just for a change pace. It also has a larger magazine. I hear the block go. There goes another one. A couple of them. Oops. Didn't notice that I was at the end of the magazine. I have a bad habit of that. It's kind of nice when they all cluster together and you're not really sure who you're hitting, but you're hitting somebody. My upgrades to this side of the tower are definitely paying off. There are a lot more of them than there were last week, but they still are not making nearly as much progress. Yeah, Samson with the pillars of the temple at Gath, you guys are not. Sorry. And it sounds like that spider zombie may actually have been the last one. But the bodies of the zombie dogs have despawned. I actually was considering risking it if they were still there. All the loot will wait until actual morning, though. One thing I have learned in this game, although I'm not sure if I have mentioned it before in a video, on Horde Nights, do not save and exit after defeating the Horde before it actually is morning. If you do that when you re-enter the game, it does not remember that you have already fought the Horde, and it spawns the Horde again. Although actually on the lower levels like this, it might be beneficial to do exactly that so that you have more zombies to fight. I suppose I could do that right now. It's not like I don't have the ammunition left, but I don't think that I'm going to bother with that. What I will do, though, is wait until morning actually dawns to end this episode and probably go down and collect all the loot before I end the episode. There we go, it's officially morning. Let's run downstairs and see what we got. Zombies left us some presents. Brass is always useful. old cash, and that's quite a stock of it. The trader will pay us good money for that. Lots of useful resources, but nothing particularly new and exciting. But that's fine. Useful resources are, well, useful. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me. And if you would like to help my channel grow, please share it with your friends. Goodbye and God bless.